In your testimony, you mentioned the Fed's exit strategy is contingent on meeting the Fed's goals for economic recovery. So how close is the economy to meeting the Fed's goals, and what does that look like?
So what we've said is that we would be purchasing assets at least at the current pace until we see substantial further progress toward our goals. So that's actual progress. That's not forecast progress. So we would want to see that we moved, it is what it sounds like. We would like to see incoming actual data that show us moving closer to our goals, both for inflation and for employment. And that's what it'll take. And I agree there's an element of judgment in that, but we will be communicating as clearly as possible and as far in advance as possible how we perceive the path of progress toward those goals.
Okay, consistent with your mandate, consistent with the mandate.
Very much so.
So what does the labor market look like when the Fed has achieved this goal? What does the labor market look like?
So I think it's easier to say with liftoff. We've been very specific with liftoff. We said in liftoff we'd need to see labor market conditions that are consistent with maximum employment, inflation at 2%, and inflation expected to move moderately above 2% for some time. Those are the conditions for liftoff, and they're quite specific. We haven't tried to be that specific about the pace of asset purchases, and we've just said substantial further progress is what we said.
Okay. So Chair Powell, yesterday you also spoke about the digital dollar being a high priority for the Fed. I think this is a national security issue, an economic security issue for sure. You said you're committed to transparency as you look into the digital dollar. I think that's important. I think that's very important for our system of government. I think it's a very important thing for an open society. But let's get into a few specifics on that if we can. What can the public expect in terms of learning the details of this project going forward? And are some more details, are you able to share with us today what we can expect from the Fed in this year, over the course of this year with the digital dollar project?
Yes, so this is going to be an important year, and this is going to be the year in which we engage with the public pretty actively, including some public events that we're working on, which I'm not going to announce today, but there are things that we're working on. And it's the sense of this is not, here are the decisions we've made, what do you guys think? It's going to be, these are the trade-offs, they're both policy questions and there are technical questions that interrelate between those two. And they're very challenging questions. And so we're going to want to have a public dialogue about that with all of the interested constituencies. And that is the idea of what we're doing. In the meantime, we're working on the technical challenges and also collaborating with and sharing work with the other central banks around the world who are doing this. And, we will need, depending on what we do, we could well need legislative authorization for such a thing. That isn't clear until we see which way we're going. But so we will be engaging significantly with you and your colleagues on Capitol Hill as well.
Okay. So,
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.